So we're here for the Fast for Peace, People, and Planet. And this is not just here in Rhode Island, this is around the country. As a lot of people know, Pope Francis is coming to the United States this week. He's actually traveling through the Western Hemisphere. And he's been calling for climate change, but he wasn't the first person to call. He's been calling for action on climate change. He's been calling for people to think of future generations, to realize that we are not here to use up our own all the resources that are available, and to realize that a lot of the things that have been called resources, like fossil fuels, are actually very disruptive. So, this is not the first, by any means, the first protest we've had in Rhode Island on fossil fuels. But we are here trying to get our state leaders to act. And it's kind of strange talking about this in the State House, where the priorities in the State House are often, what can they do to divvy up as much money as they can in the short term for their friends? But we are thinking about the long term. We're thinking about the future of our own lives, the future of our children and grandchildren, and future generations. So I think the best thing we can do is to talk about why we're here. So I'd like to give people an opportunity to speak about anything on their minds. And people here, I know, are speaking for a lot of people. Not many people can come out at the middle of the afternoon on a working day. But I know there are a lot of people who care here and a lot of people who also care but can't make it today. So it's our responsibility to speak up for other people's concerns, and most of all to speak up for our own concerns. So I'd like to hear, what do people think? Does anybody want to speak about what moves you to be concerned about this issue?
Point of order.
Yes.
I have a piece of music that I would like to play to set the tone. It's almost silence, but easier for most people. If we could start with that, is that okay?
Certainly.
It's very short.
Tell us just about the music.
Today is the eve of the Day of Atonement in the Jewish year. That's the biggest day of the year. And there's a famous prayer. It's not really a prayer. It's a formula that's being uttered at the beginning. And it goes along with a haunting melody that spells oppression in my mind. What I want to let you hear is just the melody. You can put any words to it if you like, or no words at all. You can consider it silence, and I hope that the electronics doesn't desert it. So I would like to play that before we begin. It will be just a minute. Is that okay? I hope you hear it. Wait a second. That's it. I mean, we could go on. It goes on for 10 minutes.
Well, I like to say something, and I'm always learning something new, especially from groups like this. Senator Whitehouse is known as an environmental senator. However, he supports this project that's going on in Burrowville to continue the use of gas, which is fracking, which is a very dangerous technology. And I come to find out that the methane gas coming out is 20 times more powerful than the fossil fuels from coal. And this is why I'm here, to stop fracking and this transitional power that they're called. The transitional power is the sun. That's what we all should be looking for. That's what the money in this country should be invested in, not in fracking, destroying the water systems in this country, and letting methane gas, which is polluting our atmosphere and killing our planet.
Thank you. And when people speak, if you like, you can give your name first, but don't feel like you have to. So, does anybody else want to speak next?
Hi, I'm Greg Garrett. I'm with the Green Party. I love the name of this rally. We did one 3 years ago called Jobs, Peace, and Planet. And I think Jill Stein picked up on that, changed it a little bit, and that's kind of evolved into this. So I had a really good laugh when I saw the name of this, because it just reminded me of stuff that we've done. I am something of an expert on methane because I run Compost Initiative. And methane is actually the exact same stuff as natural gas. If you let natural gas go up in the air, it has that same effect, because methane and natural gas are the same thing. They're created in the same way. They're created by rotting organic matter when there's no oxygen. So usually at the bottom of the ocean, then you put it under millions of pounds of pressure. But it's just natural gas that stored up thousands of years ago. Anyways, we have to do two things. We have to reduce all of our use of fossil fuels to zero, and then we have to reforest the planet. If we don't do that, you know, I keep looking at this 350.org and I go, I'm at 280.org. You know, let's get back to the pre-industrial number, because the slow buildup is going to continue even at 350. You know, the report came out today that if we burn all the fossil fuels, Antarctica melts in 1,000 years. But, you know, that means it's going like an inch a year. You know, an inch a year. Do you imagine what sea level rise on Rhode Island beaches would look like at an inch a year? You know, it would be like, you'd go back the next year and Narragansett Beach wouldn't have a beach at high tide or something like that. So you have to start to think, what are we going to do? And clearly, the response by our government is inadequate. Totally inadequate. They basically are selling themselves to the fossil fuel industry. I will make one last statement. I know one of the fasters in D.C., Ted Glick. He's a very fine human being, and a pretty good writer, and, you know, solidarity.
Yes, my name is Lorraine Savard, and this is not my first time at this rodeo. I was at the in Providence the last time that Bang showed there with the big guys from the Teamsters Union that were pushing us around. What was it? Chamber of Commerce. Yes, we missed the governor. But anyway, you know, I think the point here is we need jobs, yes, but we need clean jobs. Definitely clean jobs, not doing this crazy stuff. End of story.